Okay, so the problem that we're going to solve is graph each equation with x equals 1 and y equals -4 on the same coordinate plane and give each of their slope. Generally for this problem, there's around 3 steps. Okay, so the first step is going to be graph both equations as x equals 1, y equals -4 on a coordinate plane. So you get a coordinate plane, preferably on graph paper, but I didn't have graph paper, so I just made my own. But you want to make sure when you're making your own coordinate plane that you have a straight edge like a ruler. So I just made a coordinate plane, and we'll take a black pen. Okay, so graph both equations, x equals 1, y equals -4 on a coordinate plane. X equals 1, go to the x-axis, go to 1, plot it, grab a straight edge, and you've made your plot. That's for the x-axis. That x-axis, that's x equals 1. And then y equals -4. Go to the y-axis, count down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Make your plot. Grab your straight edge. Draw your line. And there. You have completed step 1. Okay, now on to step 2. Find each equation slopes. Now this is generally easy. Okay, so one thing you want to know, like the first thing you want to know when you're dealing with slopes is you want to have the slope formula in mind, and that is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That's just the general slope formula. Okay, so next thing is the slope of a vertical line, which is up, straight up and down, will always be 0. This is why. When you plug y equals -4 into the slope formula, you get 0 over a number, thus the slope being 0. And here's an example. Say you had a fraction 0 over 5. You would end up with 0. So the slope for the equation y equals -4 is 0. Yay! Okay. Okay, next is the slope of a horizontal line will always be undefined. This is the reason why. When you plug in the equation x equals 1 into the slope formula, all the way up here, you get a number over 0, which is undefined. Here's an example too. Say you had a fraction 5 over 0. That would end up as undefined because you cannot have a fraction with 0 as the denominator. So the slope for x equals 1 is undefined. Yay! Okay, so now we basically completed step 2. Now, step 3 is basically just like the final one, is finalize and box your answers, which is the graphed equations and both their slopes. So here is the graph, both the equations graphed in a coordinate plane, and here are the slopes. Slopes for the equations, y equals -4 and x equals 1. I'm just making a simple chart. The slope for y equals -4 is 0, and the slope for x equals 1 is undefined. So there you go. There's all your notes and preparations on how to solve and correctly answer, graph each equation, x equals 1, y equals -4 on the same coordinate plane, and give each of their slopes. Okay, bye.